She's really not shy. My name is Tiffany Clayton, and I am a 2019 graduate of the Brevard Rescue Mission program, and this is my 13-year-old daughter, Victoria.
Yay.
And we came to Brevard Rescue Mission in October of 2018. This is how it came about becoming the Brevard Rescue Mission. On January 27th of 2018, my daughter at the time was 11 years old. She became very ill. After 8 days, hospital visits, tests, and not being able to figure out what was going on, she wasn't able to get food down. We received a diagnosis, which was superior mesenteric artery syndrome, also known as SMA syndrome. During that time, that required my daughter to have a feeding tube in her nose for 6 weeks, and she required 24 hours, 7 days a week, round-the-clock care. During that time, I was working as a temporary employee for Space Coast Credit Union, and I had to resign my position to take care of my daughter. It was a new way of living for my daughter and I, and she was also homeschooled for that second semester of her 6th grade year. Well, with me leaving work, we eventually had to move up from our apartment where we lived for 4 years, and we moved in with a French family member. During this transition, we actually found out that my daughter's illness was actually more serious than we thought. The doctors at Florida Hospital referred her to a motility doctor at Memorial Children's Hospital. We spent almost every week that year at the hospital, with many trips back and forth to Orlando. So after many hospital visits, due to the feeding tube and my daughter's nose falling out, they finally gave her a permanent feeding tube. And that allowed my daughter to attend school for her 7th grade year. I hadn't worked for 7 months and received a phone call from my manager at Space Coast Credit Union offering me a full-time permanent position with benefits. And of course, I couldn't turn it down. In September 2018, after staying with the French family member for about 3 months, they informed me that we would have to leave by end of month. Of course, I just started working, so I didn't have any money saved up for a place of our own. I did ask, can we get another month or 2 for me to save up? They informed me no. I went into panic mode. I informed my job. My daughter was still on her feeding tube feeds, and I didn't have a place to go. I spoke to my manager about what was going on, and she told me to take a couple of days and go and look for a place for my daughter and I. She also looked for resources for us. I called multiple shelters and no luck. I went to the Salvation Army, and they didn't have any availability. I called 211, and they gave me a list of numbers, including Brevard Rescue Mission. I called and I spoke with Amy Lyon, and she did an intake interview and informed me someone would contact me in 24 hours. I was really nervous because I wasn't sure if we were going to be accepted into the program. The next day, I received a call from Samantha asking me to meet her for lunch at Starbucks by my job. We sat down and talked about the program and what it entailed, and at the end of the conversation, she asked, would you like to be a part of the BRN family? And of course, with a big smile, I answered, yes, I would. I was so happy and relieved. Samantha asked if I had a place to stay until the apartment we were going to be moving into was ready. I informed her I was going to look into a hotel room, and she told me we will cover your hotel room for a couple of days.
Amen.
After 2 days, our apartment was ready, and we moved into BRM, our new home. I knew BRM could be a 2-year program, but my goal was to graduate in 6 months. I graduated in 7. During my stay at BRM, I could tell you my struggles were definitely with budgeting and finances. I also did have to adjust my attitude as well. Because of course, as adults, you feel like you shouldn't have someone micromanage your finances. But you know what I had to do? I had to drop my pride. and know that the ladies were there because they care and want to see me grow and succeed. So after I got out of my own way and held myself accountable to Amy and later on Maria, I saw growth in myself. I wasn't spending money like I won the lottery. Instead, I was putting money in savings and paying off debt. During that time, I was also able to build stability for my daughter again. In May 2019, I was ready to graduate from the program. I found a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in Palm Bay, and I was able to pay my first, last, and security deposit from my personal savings, not including the money I put into the BRM savings. We moved into our new home on May 10th, 2019, and we were so happy for our new chapter and thankful for our blessing of BRM. In July, a new position opened up at work for a mortgage processor 3. I applied and had an interview with the manager in that department. I didn't hear anything back for a few days. I wasn't sure if I got the position. But then I received a phone call from my HR manager informing me that they wanted to offer me the position as mortgage processor 3 with a $4 pay increase. I received a promotion after being with the company less than a year. I also found out 2 weeks ago we got a 10% raise. So now I'm able to start focusing on my health as well as my daughter's health. As my work provides great health insurance that allows me to do so, I'm also able to put money away for my future with a 401k plan, and my company matches what I put in as well. Now my lovely daughter, she had a rough 2018 year with the health issues which caused her to be down emotionally, and her grades were starting to slip. When we moved to BRM, the program was not only a big change for me, but it was a big change for her as well. She started to get the stability she needed while we were at BRM, and when we moved, the stability was there for her. Now, even though she is still fighting her health issues, and she just had a major surgery on January 20th, my daughter's grades have improved, and her attitude has improved greatly. Actually, one of her teachers even stated, Victoria has grown so much, and she is proud of how much she has improved in the last year and a half. My plans for the future are to continue to grow spiritually and to save money. Also to grow within my job to hopefully become a loan officer. I will say to new residents of the program, have faith and drop your pride to the side. It's not easy, and I can really testify to that. And yes, you will get frustrated and even angry because the rules are strict. But once you graduate and you see how your life is outside of BRM, and you see that you have growth, you will say thank you, because without the rules, without the structure of the program, and most importantly, without having faith, I can honestly say I would not be where I am today. Thank you, Amy, Maria, Stacia, Kim, the board and staff of BRM, and a major thank you to the donors. Without your love and support, I would not be a success story, because I wouldn't have had BRM to go to. Thank you.